Hello, I'm Citrus, and you're looking at the Ka Signature Metal Robot Spirits XS Gundam. This came out towards the end of 2016, retailing for 16,500 yen, but fortunately, I didn't have to pay that much, and with a little bit of luck, you don't either. I actually picked this up pre-owned from AmiAmi, and if we flip it over, you can see by the sticker here, this is a pre-owned item. Item condition B, box condition B, which means this had been previously opened, but I haven't opened it yet, so let's crack it open together. By the way, I'm sure you've noticed by now the box is quite large. If we compare it to a high grade here, you can see it is roughly the size of two of them, so about the size of a very thin master grade. Kind of annoying for shipping purposes because this means that it can't ship via SAL. A smaller but thicker box would have been much more preferable for me. Anyway, let's get this open. Inside you get a sheet of instructions telling you how to put everything together. And there's not too much going on here because this action figure does not transform. Some of you will be very pleased to hear that, while others, like me, will be a little bit disappointed, considering that Bandai did manage to put the transformation gimmick in the Metal Robot Spirits Zeta Plus. You see the blister pack comes with a cardboard surround underneath it, which is really good because it protects the box from getting crushed. The metal composite Zeta Plus that I have is very similarly packaged, but it has like 3 layers. There's no supporting cardboard in it at all, and over time the blister has started to sag within its own packaging. It's sort of gotten all bulgy and weird. And you can see only half of the box is the action figure and the other half is just for the base. So they totally could have like put this underneath here or something just to make it a little bit thicker, and then we could have had a smaller box that would have been much easier to ship. Clearly it was more important to Bandai to have a big box that probably looks really impressive on store shelves than to have something that, you know, wouldn't have to penalize its customers for shipping. As you can see, some light assembly is required. The figure ships without its knees, the beam cannons on the sides, and obviously the entire backpack and the wings for the shoulders. A couple of notes while you're getting this thing put together for the first time. The figure does come out of the box with these little bits of plastic right here, because these little guards on the side can move, and that's to prevent the paint from scraping right here in transit. And while you're putting together, you can also take off the lower part of the kneecap so that you can see exactly where the knee goes into, so you're not just pushing down in there blindly. Okay, so now that's all put together, we all know the XS is a big boy, so here it is next to the high-grade RX-78 for comparison. As you saw just now, the XS is definitely capable of standing up on its own. All that is thanks to the metal content, which is concentrated down here in the lower body. If we turn around to the back, the backpack thrusters are mostly hollow, so it should be relatively easy for you to balance them in such a way so that the figure doesn't topple over while standing up. Now, before we talk about all of the different gimmicks and accessories, we need to talk about something very important, and that's clearances, because this is a very big action figure with a lot of bits everywhere, and the last thing you want to do is have pieces crashing into each other, rubbing off, and damaging your paint. The first area we're going to talk about is right here at the hip. The beam cannons can sit closer to the leg like this, or they can come out like so. So there's a lot of range here. But you can see when they're in there all the way in position, they're very close to the front skirt bit right there. You can see there's some knocking that can happen there. And because the beam cannon is attached to the leg, you can see as you're moving the leg, the cannon will move with it. So just to be safe, unless you're posing in like a standing position, always remember to leave the beam cannon out slightly so that it can always clear. Another area to pay attention to is right here in the back. So you have the wing binder here. This is all molded together so it doesn't move like it does on the master grade. And you can see the tip of it here is always basically pointing downwards. You can move each one individually up and down like this. But if they're straight down like that, when you're bending the leg up and back, as you might do when you're trying to stand it up so that to shift the center of gravity forwards, you can see the tip of the wing can collide the leg right here, like so. So just make sure that if you are doing any sort of stance, try to move the wing out to the back first before you have everything moved in place, and then once you have the legs in place, then move these back as appropriate. You can see over here on this side, I have inadvertently damaged the tip there just the tiniest bit. So it's just kind of funny that despite how solid this whole thing feels, because the internal skeleton is mostly metal, and because of how smooth all of the joints are, it's actually kind of a nerve-wracking experience to really hold this and try to pose it, because just so many things can run into each other. But when you're careful, this figure is capable of so many different poses, and I'm really, really impressed. Like double bend elbows, you actually have a waist joint, and it's a really nice, smooth ball socket right here. So lots of different poses you can do with that. Pretty decent hips. You can move out really far. I'm pretty sure this is like better than any model kit of the XS or the S Gundam could do. And as you straighten out, you can see these pieces moving back into place, which is an excellent mechanical detail. Not even the Master Grade can do that. So this is really kind of the top of the line if you want a good XS figure today. This is the most detailed, most articulate version of this mobile suit that probably exists right now. In terms of gimmicks, you have the wing up here, which you can detach and reattach in different positions of retractedness. You have the shoulder here, which has a front panel that can open, and the upper part can slide open like that, showing you a little bit of gold and silver detail underneath. On the knees, you can open this little bit right here to remove the incom, and the kit includes little wires that you can attach to show them deploying. And with just a little bit of patience, you can remove the fuel tanks as well to achieve the look of the high-grade XS Gundam, which doesn't have the propellant tanks attached. And for other accessories, you have two blue beam saber effects, along with the XS Beam Smart Gun. You have the eye field generator here, very detailed, can rotate like this. Has a hidden arm. This is the end that attaches to the crotch. And on the other side, you can see that there is a handle hidden inside of this arm. Flips out like so. The back of the gun, there is another handle. And the whole gun can extend. A nice touch is that in the barrel, the slots are all cut through, so you can actually see through them. Whereas I believe on a lot of the model kits, the slots are all solid. But I think the most important accessory is the display stand. You have this really beautiful minimal design like the Gundam Fixed Figuration stand with the mobile suit's name and some stats, and the really awesome Wave Rider logo right there. And the arm is this really big chunky thing like the ones you've seen on middle build figures. Have a rotation here, 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 slide up and down with a lock, another slide up and down, another rotation, and you can lock it into one of several positions by pushing in the peg like so. You can attach the arm to the base in one of two positions, and with a figure like this, even though it can stand on its own, I think you really would appreciate the security of putting it on its own display base. Oh, and you get an excellent selection of manipulators as well, including the ever-elusive left trigger hand. This figure was always really attractive to me because the high grades were just not that great. They needed way too much paint and work to look even remotely acceptable, and as a very lazy modeler, you know I'm not going to have any of that. The big pain point for me was always the price. At the time of release, this kit was full price, $170, pre-order sold out everywhere, and it was basically impossible to have one for anything less than an insane amount of money, so I never bought it. But weirdly enough, over time, the prices for this and lots of other Metal Robot Spirits figures plummeted. I don't really know why, but I think it has something to do with the fact that Bandai announced multiple re-releases of this as web exclusive, such as the Task Force Alpha XS and the S Gundam. I think the existence of these limited editions made them the chase releases, and that made this, the standard release, a bit less desirable, so the prices haven't appreciated as much. So that means right now, you can probably hop on AmiAmi, Mandrake, or wherever you typically get your pre-owned goods, and you'll be able to find one of these for a pretty decent price. As a matter of fact, some stores still actually have these brand new sealed in box. Of course, you'll be paying a little bit more for those. Now, the other question is, how does this compare to the Master Grade? Because right now, this figure, you can get one pre-owned for roughly the same price as you can the version 1.5 Master Grade XS, or whatever you want to call it. Now, this does have more detail, it does have more gimmicks, and it is also professionally finished out of the box, so you don't really have to put it together. But the Master Grade is bigger, and of course you do get to have the fun of putting it together. It is a very large, complex kit from my memory, and that is an experience in itself. For me, I prefer the action figure because I think it makes for a nicer display piece. And the fact that it can stand up on its own and it has solid metal joints that I can play with, I get more value out of that than having just a big plastic brick that I can't do much with. Now, to be fair, I will be picking up a Master Grade XS in the near future to put together and review for you. But in the meantime, if you have the means and you want an XS, I think it's a pretty good time for you to go out and pick up one of these action figures while the price is still low, because eventually the supply of them will dry up and the prices will start creeping north. That's all for this review. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.